I'm so glad I'm gay. I know, it sounds weird. Why would anyone want to be part of a group that has been the victim of such physical and psychological violence? Why would anyone actually want to have that infamous conversation with good old mom and dad? I don't know. The reason I'm happy I'm gay is the opportunity it's given me to reclaim my own humanity. I mean, experiencing violence has taught me the power of nonviolence. Having difficult conversations with friends and close family has really strengthened my relationships. Experiencing social, political, and cultural disenfranchisement has given me insight into the ways many systems of oppression operate. To me, this knowledge of the way our society dehumanizes other people, I don't know. I guess it's given me an opportunity to relate to other people on such a deeper level than most. Even before I knew I was gay, I knew I was different. Like I didn't fit into society, I didn't belong, like I had something to hide. And then when I had my first crush, when I knew I started having same-sex attractions, I knew I was a freak. I don't know. It's my first crush, Henry, from summer camp. When all I wanted to do was to be near him, to touch him, to dance with him at the end of session dance, I knew the other boys just wouldn't understand. After jacking off to gay porn in middle school, I would cry, telling myself how I was a queer and how vowing to never see myself as wholly human or to ever tell anyone. I don't know. I guess as any other little gay boy in a heterosexist society, coming to terms with my sexuality was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I mean, yeah, coming out helped, but it just wasn't enough. I could label myself as gay or queer, but I wanted more. I wanted an apology. I wanted all little middle school gay boys to know that it was not only okay to be gay, but it's downright fucking great. Early on in my first year at UVA, I found that one thing that was missing in my life. It was activism. I mean, in a community just so besieged by silence and misinformation, I realized that queer people needed something more than just quiet, confidential support groups. They needed outright affirmation. So, what did I do? I held up some signs, signed some petitions, organized letter writings, but the thing that I found the most pleasure out of was actually direct action. Going to these sites of real homophobia, changing people's minds and hearts. We would travel up and down the East Coast, visiting college campuses. That's what we focused on mainly. Specifically, college campuses that would expel students for being openly gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender. Now, that was all good and great, but everything kind of came to a halt when I was arrested for the first time. This particular direct action took place over spring break, so I had gone home to visit my family. They never really accepted my sexual identity. I remember when I first came out to my mom, her eyes watered up, and she made me promise her that I would never become involved in any queer group, and I would stay closeted. Of course, I lied and reassured her that I would be cautious, but I don't know, I couldn't do it. So, I ended up just coming out to my entire first year dorm in an orientation game. That was ironic. So, this direct action took place at Liberty University with President Reverend Jerry Falwell, whose famous words were, "The attacks on the United States on September 11th, 2001 occurred because the United States' toleration of queer people." So I headed to Liberty University. We made signs, did the usual, had the morning preparation. It seemed like any other direct action would. But when our bus pulled up, there was a line of police, 3 for every 1 protester, with police dogs barking, pulling at the chains, and protesters who weren't even affiliated with Liberty, screaming things like, fags and boo queers. I couldn't help but wonder, how easy would it be for one of them to just come out and attack us? What if one of them had a gun? But then I just remembered while I was there, for all the queer people at that university, so they could know that it was okay to come out. That's what I was there for, not for me. So, when we got off that bus, it was kind of difficult to remain nonviolent, especially since everyone else there was being so incredibly violent. It's really difficult to walk down the street with dogs barking at you, people screaming at you, police officers staring you down. But when we tried to actually spread our message to Liberty University, we didn't get very far. When we tried to step onto the campus, we were stopped by the police. One by one, we would try to go onto the campus to read a speech to Jerry Falwell, just to encourage him to accept queers as real students, real people. One by one, we were arrested. 20 of us were arrested that day, escorted by Lynchburg and Liberty police, who made it pretty well known through the media that they didn't think very highly of us, saying things like, we were only making matters worse, and God doesn't like homos. Sometimes it's hard to stand up for justice, and now I have a criminal record, but if I was able to help just one person at Liberty to come out and understand that it's okay, then I think I've done my job. If I can bring the queer community out of the shadows and into the sunshine of truth and happiness, then I think it was all worth the trouble. And sometimes it's hard to stand up for justice, but the empowerment that comes from promoting the truth can't be traded for anything.
Wait. Did I just have sex? I mean, I know I've been going down on someone before, you know, in that Alanis Morissette song, did you go down on her in the theater? But I was just meant touching, you know, just a little patting. I don't think that actually meant. Anyway, the last thing I remember, I was sitting in my cloud sheets looking at my Beanie Babies, and then all of a sudden I felt her warm, wet, you know, on my, So, I mean, did I really just have sex? And did my parents hear me? I mean, I don't really think I was that loud because I didn't really understand what was going on, so I was kind of just like, I was trying to figure it out, so I didn't really enjoy it. But I really just have sex? And God, beautiful, voluptuous Christina, I can't deny anything that you do to me. You're 18 and have a hot Cuban body and a hot car, and I'm this awkward 14-year-old freshman. But we're a match made in heaven. Because you're the superstar pitcher on the softball team, and I'm the up-and-coming catcher. But did you really just take away my flower? Is this really how this went down? With the Pointer Sisters jump going on in the background? Did I really just have sex? But I guess I can try to figure it out tomorrow when we're together, spending our afternoons how we normally do after softball practice, touching, kissing, caressing, and having sex?
First of all, we'd like to thank you guys so much for coming tonight. It was a spectacular turnout, and I hope that you all enjoyed the show. Hope that you will leave tonight having realized that this is an important community, and what happened here tonight was very important. Tonight, the community was given a voice that it was not given before, and I hope that you all enjoyed it.
Thank you, everybody.